There are reasons which is to be recorded in writing, then the period of 4 weeks can be extended up to 8 weeks. You should place it in such a way that this particular license should be seen by everyone. So this class 3 certificates can be used for both for personal use as well as for commercial purpose. So digital certificates are the digital equivalent of physical or a paper certificates. Hi and a warm welcome to all dear students. I, Giorgio Lime, Commerce Faculty, Department of Commerce, Vidyashram, First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysore. Dear students, today we shall take up the session 6. This is the last session in this particular unit 5, that is of Information Technology Act of 2000. So, dear students, I was explaining to you the various important provisions or the terms in this particular act, that is Information Technology Act. Now, let us go further and just see which are the other important terms in this or the provisions which is being given in this particular Information Technology Act of 2000. So, continuing with that, it is related to issuance of license. So, there the controller should within 4 weeks from the date of receipt of application, after considering that particular documents and also which is accompanying the various other application of such other facts, he may deem fit, grant or renew the license or reject the application. So it means once the controller, that means the controller of the certifying authority, we say control of certifying authority, CCA. So CCA means controller certifying authority. So this particular person, control certifying authorities, should within 4 weeks, that means within 1 month, from the date of receipt of application, that is the date of receiving of application, after considering the various documents, after taking into consideration all the documents which is been provided by that particular person or individual who wants the license for the certifying to become a certifying authority, and which is also accompanied with the application, the documents along with the application and all the factors, he may go through it, and if it is everything is okay, then if it is fit, he may grant the license, right, or he may renew the license, or he may reject that particular application. Now, in exceptional circumstances, in some of the exceptional circumstances, what happens? For reasons to be recorded in writing, the period of 4 weeks may be extended to such period not exceeding 8 weeks. In all, the controller may be deemed fit. Sometimes, the controller, in some exceptional cases, you will give for reasons where to be recorded in writing. So, in this case, when there are reasons which is to be recorded in writing, then the period of 4 weeks can be extended up to 8 weeks. That is for 2 months. So, it can be extended up to 2 months. And in all such cases, the controller may feel it that it is fit. And if the application for license certifying authority is approved, so once that application which is been put by an individual, that is for getting the license for the certifying authority, if it has been approved, then the application should be submitted a performance bond. Then that person, that is the person who is getting the license for the as a certifying authority, he should submit the performance bond or furnish the banker's guarantee details within 1 month from the date of such approval to the controller, and execute an agreement with the controller that is binding himself in order to comply with all the terms and conditions of the license and the provisions of the act and the rules made thereafter. So, once the application for license certifying authority is been approved, now the applicant should, that is the person who has applied for the license certifying authority, he should submit a performance bond or furnish the banker's guarantee within 1 month from the date of such approval, right? To whom? To the controller. And also he should execute the agreement which is being binded with the controller himself in order to see that he compiles with all the terms and conditions. He agrees with, compile means he agrees with all the terms and conditions of the license and the provisions of the act and the rules which is been made there. Now, the license will be valid for a period of 5 years from the date of its issue. So, this is very important. So, the license which has been granted to the certifying authority for issuing the license, so that license will be valid and the duration will be for 5 years. And the license is not transferable. So, the license which is been approved to a competent authority, certifying authority, that license is not transferable to another person. So the provisions that are applicable for obtaining fresh license will be applicable for renewal of the license also. So whatever the provisions that is applicable in order to take the fresh license, the same procedures will be followed in order to take or renew the license for renewal of the license also. And every application for renewal should be made within 45 days before the date of expiry. Now it is for 5 years, means so within the next before the 5 years the term is getting over, so within 45 days of that date, particular date from the term of or the date of expiry, you should apply for the renewal. So application should be put for renewal and it should be made within at least 45 days before the date of expiry. Now every certifying authority should display its license. So this particular, once they get the license, this particular authority, that is certifying authority, they should display this particular license at the conspicuous place of the premises in which carries his own business. So he should place it in such a way that this particular license should be seen by everyone who comes to that particular business house or to the business place. So in that particular location, he should fix or that particular license or keep that particular license or display it. Now students, coming to the next important term, that is electronic signature certificates. So these provisions related to the electronic or digital signature certificates are covered in the chapter 6, where it says, according to section 35 Act of 1939 Act of 2000 and the rules 23 to 30 of IT, that is certifying authority rules 2000, and the IT certifying regulation act of 2001. So this is all not much important. This is just an act on where it was passed, when it was passed, all that. Now coming to the actual thing, the digital signature certificate, it is what? It is an electronic document which uses a digital signature in order to bind together the public key with the identity, that is information such as the name of the person or the organization or a company and the address and so forth. So a digital signature certificate is an electronic document. It is an electronic document or which is used as a digital signature, in order to bind together, bring together a public key with identity or information such as the name of the person or the organization and their addresses and so forth. Now the certificate can be used in order to verify that public key belongs to an individual. Now how you can verify this particular certificate, digital certificate? Here, digital signature certificate, this certificate can be used in order to verify the public key belonging to that particular individual. And these digital certificates are the digital equivalent, that is electronic format. So it is in the electronic format. So it is an digital equivalent. So digital certificates are the digital equivalent of physical or a paper certificates. So it can be a physical one and a paper certificate. Example, you can see a physical certificates are like driving license. We have everyone will be having or issued the driving license who is having age of above 18 years. Then passports we get, right, and membership cards. So all this is physical things as well as it can be visible also, and it is a paper certificate. Same way, this digital certificates also will be of the format of physical and paper certificates. Now the digital certificate, signature certificate, is issued by the certifying authority. Now who is going to issue this particular digital signature certificates? So it has been issued by the certifying authority CA. So the certifying authority CA is responsible for vetting all the applications in digital signature certificates, and once it is been satisfied, then it generates digital certificate by digitally signing the public key of an individual along with other information using its own private key. And it says the controller of the certifying authority CCA has licensed 8 certifying authorities in India to issue this particular digital signature certificates to the end users. So the National Informatics Center issues digital signature certificates primarily to the government, then public sector undertakings and the statutory bodies. Second, it says the Institute for Development of Research in Banking Technology, IDRBT, they will issue the digital signature certificates primarily to the banking and financial sectors in India. Thirdly, it says the remaining CAs, certifying authorities, that is SafeCrypt or TCS, MTNL, Code Solutions, eMudra, issue digital signature certificates to all the end users across all kinds of domains. And more than 16 lakh digital signatures certificates have been issued by different certifying authorities in India. Depending upon all these requirements of assurance level and usage of digital signature certificate, the following are the classes of digital signature certificates. First one, class 1. Class 1 certificate means issued to an individual or a private subscriber in order to secure the email messages. So I'll repeat, class 1 certificate is the certificate which has been issued to an individual person or individual or a private subscribers to secure email messages. Now coming to the class 2 type of certificates, it has been issued as a managed digital certificates to employees, partners, affiliates, customers of the business and the government organizations that are ready to assume the responsibility of verifying the accuracy of the information which has been submitted by the employees, partners, affiliates and customers. So this kind of class 2 certificates has been issued by managed digital certificates to employees, partners, affiliates, then customers of business and government organization, so that they are ready to assume the responsibility, take the responsibility of verifying, checking the accuracy of that information which has been submitted by these partners, affiliates and the customers. Thirdly, class 3 certificates. These are the certificates which are issued to an individual companies and the government organizations. And they say that they can be used both for personal as well as for commercial purpose. So this class 3 certificates can be used for both for personal use as well as for commercial purpose. And they are typically used for electronic commerce applications such as electronic banking, then electronic data interchange, that is ENDI, and membership based online services where the security is a major concern. Now students, coming to the different types of digital signature certificate that are being issued. First one, it says individual digital signature certificates, that is a signing certificates. So individual certificates serves the purpose of individual certificates is in order to identify a person. So it will follow that the contents of this type of certificate includes the full name and the personal particulars of an individual. So in order to identify this particular person, the individual certificates will be issued where the contents of this type of certificate surely will be having the information in the certificate naming, that is the full name and the personal particulars of an individual. And this kind of individual certificates can be used for signing electronic documents and emails and implementing enhanced access control over the mechanism for sensitive or valuable information. Secondly, we have server certificates. Server certificates identity a server or a computer. So here, instead of name of a person, like where we had in the individual certificates, there the name of the person will be there. Here, instead of name of the person under the server certificates, the server certificate contains what? The host name. Here it contains the host name instead of the name of the person because it is related to server, computer. So here https://nsdgcgovernment.india, like something like that, or the IP address The server certificates are used for one or two-way SSL in order to secure communication of data over the network. Third is encryption certificate. Encryption certificates means these are used in order to encrypt the message. And it says the encryption certificate use the public key of the recipient to encrypt the data so as to ensure the data confidentiality during the transmission of the message. And there are separate certificates for signatures for encryption or available from different certifying authorities. And before the issue of this particular digital signature certificate, the verifying authority, what they should do, they should confirm that the username does not appear in the list of compromised users. Secondly, compile with with the procedure. That means they should agree with the procedure as defined in the certification practice statement, which is including the verification of identification or the employment. Thirdly, they should also compile or agree with all the privacy requirements. And fourthly, it should obtain a consent from the person requesting that particular person the digital signature certificate, that the details of such digital signature certificate can be published on a directory service. Now, the generation of this digital signature certificate will involve receipt of an approved and verified digital signature certificate request. Second, it creating a new digital signature certificate, then binding a key pair associated with the digital signature certificate to digital certificate owner, and issuing the digital signature certificate and the associated public key for operational use. And next it says a distinguished name associated with the digital signature owner, certificate owner, and also a recognized and a relevant policy as defined in certification practice statement. That is the end of this particular session. So we have come to the end of this particular session and to the end of this particular unit, that is of unit 5 related to the Information Technology Act of 2000. Now, before ending this particular session, let me just give the highlights and see what all the important topics or the terms we have understood and we covered here. So first, I told you regarding the issuance of license. So the controller should within 4 weeks from the date of receipt of application, after considering documents accompanying the application and such other factors, he may, which if he feels that it is fit, then he may grant the license or renew the license or reject the application. In some exceptional circumstances or cases, for reasons to be recorded in writing, then the period for 4 weeks may be extended up to 8 weeks in all as the controller may deem fit. Then if the application for license certifying authority is approved, then the next procedure is the applicant should submit a performance bond or furnish a banker's guarantee details within 1 month from the date of approval to the controller, and also execute an agreement with the controller binding himself, that is, he is going to agree to the terms and conditions of the license and also the provisions of this particular act, and he will be according, or he will do the things according to the rules which is said. The license will be valid for the period of 5 years from the date of issue, and this license is not transferable, right? If you want to renew again your license, then you should again do the same thing as you did. The same procedure has to be followed for the fresh application of license, and that should be within 45 days before the date of expiry. And electronic signature certificates, it says these are the digital signature certificate is an electronic document which issues a digital signatures to bind together the public key with the identity information, that is such as the name of the person, organization and their address. And this certificate can be used in order to verify the public keys belonging to the individual. And this particular digital certificates are the digital equivalent in the equivalent format or physical or a paper certificate, such as we have physical and the physical certificates like driving license, then we have voters card, ID card, Aadhaar card, passport, all these are examples. Then digital signature certificates are issued by certifying authorities, and the certifying authority is responsible for vetting all the applications for digital signature certificates, and once if he is satisfied, surely he will generate a digital certificates by digital signing on of the public key of the individual along with the other information using its own private key. And the control of the certifying authority, he has licensed 8 certifying authorities in India to issue this digital signature certificates to the end users. First one is the National Informatic Centers, which issues digital signature certificate primarily to the government, public sector undertakings and statutory bodies. And secondly, this Institute for Development of Research and in Banking Technology, that is IDRBT, issues digital signature certificates primarily to the banking and financial sectors in India. And the remaining CAs like SafeCrypt, TCS, MNS, MTNL, Code, Solution, Mudra issues digital certificates to all the end users across all domains. More than 16 lakh digital signature certificates have been issued by the different certifying authorities in India. So, depending upon the requirement assurance level, the usage of digital signature certificate, the following are the classes of digital signatures. Class 1, Class 2 and we have Class 3. Class 1 is certificate is the issue to an individual's private subscribers to secure the mail, email messages. Secondly, class 2 certificate, it is issued and managed as managed digital certificates to employees, partners and affiliates, customers of business and the government organization who are ready to assume the responsibility of verifying the accuracy of that particular information which is be submitted by the customers, partners and the affiliates. Class 3 certificates which is issued to the individual companies and the government organization, they can be used both as a personal as a commercial purpose, and they are typically used for electronic commerce application such as electronic banking, e-banking we say, electronic data interchange, EDI, and membership based online services where security is a major concern. Then students, different type of digital signature certificates which are been issued. I told you the individual digital signature certificates. Then we have server certificates, encryption certificates. So under that we have confirmed the user's name, then compile with the procedures, compile with all the privacy requirements, obtain the consent of the persons requesting the digital certificates. So then generation of digital signature certificate will involve receipt of an approved and verified digital signature certificate, request creating a new signature certificate, the binding the key pair associated with the digital certificate, issuing the digital certificate and associated with the public key for operational use, then a distinguished name associated with the digital signature certificate owner, and the recognition or recognized and relevant policy as defined in the certification practice statement. So these are the important topics, students, which I had explained to you and covered in this particular session 6 of Unit 5 of Information Technology Act of 2000. So hope you understood this particular topic and the whole chapter or the unit of Information Technology Act of 2000. So here we end the Unit 5, that is Information Technology Act. So students, see you in the next class, in the next session. That is, I'll start with the new chapter, that is Unit 6. It is related to Competition Act of 2002. So see you in that next session. Until then, take care. Have a nice day. Thank you.